Are you single and ready for a real, lasting connection? Stop waiting. Start preparing for the love you deserve. Welcome to Singles Seeking Soulmate, Skool, the ultimate space for growth-minded singles who are serious about love, commitment, and building a future with the right partner. Men and women 25 plus looking to be relationship ready. Those with a growth mindset, eager to become their best self. Serious about commitment and marriage, financially stable and employed. Open to networking, friendship, and possible romance. Join Singles Seeking Soulmate Skool today and step into your best love-ready self. Contact me today for a free 30-day trial of Skool.
Good morning. All right, we are heading out early on Saturday morning. I'm headed to my daughter's. Oops, I forgot something. I almost forgot something. Pulling out of the driveway. Okay, let me run in and get it because I almost forgot something. Okay. Whew. My apologies. I almost forgot my daughter's gifts sitting right on the kitchen counter. Oh, okay. Good morning again. I had to go in. I am headed out to Charlottesville this morning for my daughter's undergraduate graduation. So I just wanted to jump on really quickly and make this quick video of something that I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing this. Hello, Smoker Section Pod. Okay. Good morning. Thank you. And so I want to, y'all know I'm the master, I am the master multitasker. So someone asked me yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before, why do I make videos in my car? Why do I make videos driving? Because this is when I'm sat still. And yeah, I can talk to you all and drive. I talk to people sitting in the car and drive. I talk on the phone and drive. Like, why would this be any different? And look, I knew it was a man that asked me. It was a man that asked that question. You all are not great at multitasking. Women's brains are designed to multitask. So yes, 90% of my videos are in my car driving because I got places to go and things to do. And then when I get there, I'm going to be busy doing those things. But anyway, we're going to stay on track today. I applaud the capacity because I don't have it. Yeah. And that must be a man. All right. But this is something I've been seeing for a while, and I've been meaning to make a video about it. And it is this idea. So you have many different levels of men in the world. And I'm going to speak specifically to Black men. I'm going to speak specifically to our men in our community. So you have all these different levels of men, right? And a lot of people seem to think that what you all call, now I don't use this term because I don't like the social media vernacular. I don't like the online vernacular. But you all love to call the lowest men on the totem pole Pookies and Ray Rays. Okay, that's y'all's language. I don't use that language. But the Pookies and the Ray Rays, that's your lowest on the totem pole Black guy. And that's the guy that, really ain't about anything, not really going anywhere, but he has all this access to women, to the women in our community. And I personally believe the access is more to the lower quality women, but apparently some higher quality women seem to be attracted to the Pookies and the Ray Rays of the world. But anyway, so you got all these different levels. So that apparently is the lowest level on the totem pole. And in my humble opinion, the highest level on the totem pole is the man who is godly, is the man who is faithful, is the man who is married, is the man who has children. So he's married, he has children with his wife, he's godly, he's faithful, he's loyal, he's hardworking. That to me is the highest person, that's the highest man on the totem pole. And according to you all, the Pookies and the Ray Rays are the lowest, that's on the lower end. But you got all these guys in between. You got lots of men in between. And we don't talk enough about them. And you've got your, he may be doing better, I guess, than the lowest guy on the totem pole financially. He may have a good job. He may own a home and have a car, and he may actually be making something of his life. However, he's unmarried. He's not in any sort of committed relationship with a woman. His relationships with his family may not be great, or he may not have a whole lot of, healthy friendships. But you all will put him a little higher on the totem pole because he seems to have his life together. So this guy, he has his life together. He's working and he's achieving or accomplishing something. And then there's the guy, in my opinion, who's right underneath, or at least y'all think this guy is right underneath the guy that's highest on the totem pole. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because he thinks he's doing something. This guy thinks he's about something, and he thinks he's doing something, and he thinks that, I'm a great guy, I'm a high value man, I'm a quality, he thinks he's doing something. But in my mind, he's not right under that highest form of man, in my opinion. But he thinks he's doing something. And it is the man who may be aware of red pill rhetoric, right? He's aware of what's going on in the world. He's aware of the red pill, the pink pill. He sees this, right? He sees this information, and, he may take things from it that he thinks is valuable, but he's not so red pilled that he is not in a relationship. So he's in a relationship. He's in a monogamous relationship with a woman, and he may even live with that woman. So he may live with her. They may have a house together. They may have children together. And he calls this woman wifey. Okay? So he's getting all the benefits of being a married man without being married. And he calls this woman wifey. He may even see her value. He may even be like, oh my God, wifey this, wifey that, my wifey, right? So he may see her worth and value. It's not that he doesn't, have a good woman. Like, I think he recognizes that he has a good woman. Like, wow, I'm so lucky, that I'm not out here dealing with all this craziness that you single guys are dealing with. Or women out here today, oh, wow, women out here are crazy, So he sees a lot of the modern day women stuff, and he's thankful. He's thankful that he has a good woman, that he's in something solid, that his woman isn't like that. And he calls her wifey. And he thinks he's doing something. He thinks he's a number one top-notch man. But in my humble opinion, he's a problem. This particular man is a problem. And I know lots of men like this. I know lots of men like this out here in the world, like real life. And I see lots of men like this online. And a lot of these guys are podcast guys, right? They're guys with podcasts. They're guys with mics. and they're talking about what's going on out here in the dating and the relationship space and how crazy it is and how crazy women are. And yet he has a good woman at home. He calls her Wifey, but he's not married. He's not taking on the full responsibility that top of the totem pole guy is taking on. And quiet as it's kept, he's not getting all of the godly benefits that would come with him being her husband. But he thinks he's doing something. He thinks he's on to something. He thinks he's cracked the code. These guys, this is what's interesting to me about these particular men. They think they've cracked the code. They feel like they're having their cake and eating it too. They've cracked the code. Okay, so I'm going to live with a woman and get a house with her and have a child with her, call her Wifey, but I am not going to 100% commit myself legally. I'm not going to 100% commit myself under covenant, but they think they cracked the code. That's what's so funny to me. They think they're gaming the system, but they're not. They're not. They're not receiving true blessing on their life because God has already instructed you all. He's already told men that when you find a wife, you will find a good thing and all of his blessings will flow down upon you. Now, the part that for some reason you all have selective hearing on is finding a good wife. You all are finding a female, you're finding a woman that don't make her good and that don't make her a wife. But you are finding women out here. You're finding females and you're interacting with them. And if you're not careful and you're not vetting them, that's where you're getting into trouble. So you're picking any old female, you're making her your wife, and wondering why you're going through hell. Y'all, this pollen is tearing my throat up. It has been a month now, and I cannot get my voice back. I'm having tea this morning instead of coffee. I'm having green tea. But when I tell y'all I can't get my voice back, it's been a whole month. This pollen has been camped out in my throat, so I apologize. But I just want the men to hear me on this. There is a responsibility that falls on you, just like there's a responsibility that falls on us as women. And you all know what that responsibility is because you keep screaming it. You keep saying, choose better, choose better. Okay, I want you to apply that to yourself also. That same rhetoric applies to men. But see, because, can I be real? You don't know how to choose a good woman. You don't know what a good woman even look like. And let's go here. You ready? You're not attracted to a good woman. You don't find a good woman sexy. You don't find a good wife sexy. That don't make your loins burn with fire. That's the truth of it. So there are plenty of amazing women that would make an amazing wife to you, but you don't feel anything. You look right over her. You look right over her in a crowd, and the one that got her tatas out, the one that got all her legs out, the one that got her tight, her bum in a tight pair of pants, that's what gets your attention. And that's the problem. Okay? I say the same for women. I'm not going to leave the women out. Women are programmed to have their nervous system jacked up. And that's what's happening with these bad guys. You know, their nervous system is all activated, and oh my gosh, all the chemistry, all the sexiness, all the fill in the blank, when that guy isn't a good guy. You need to rewire your nervous system. You need to be able to see a calm. Look at this. Look at this. This is what's so funny. The latest episode of Pop the Balloon. I watched the latest episode. I have not watched Pop the Balloon in months because I'm just over it. I watched the latest episode of Pop the Balloon, and y'all know the one I'm talking about with Brian on it. He was the first one out, ready to argue, okay, ready to fight, argumentative and little man syndrome, which y'all, Napoleon syndrome, okay, because he 5'7". That episode, the most recent one. But most of the men on there in this episode, other than Brian, and I'm surprised, can I be real? I'm surprised somebody did not find all of Brian's nonsense attractive. I'm actually surprised because normally these women out here today, they want that. They want all that rah-rah. They want all that activation. Because that's all he did in my mind was activate me. He activated my nervous system, which is a bad thing. Not a good thing. It's a bad thing. But the other two gentlemen, fun, smiling, approachable, calm. They didn't want no parts of them. They didn't want no parts of them. Smoker section pod. He said, why do you think that is? It's because of attachment style. It's because of how they're raised. It's because of trauma. So if a person is raised to be attracted to chaos, right? If home feels like chaos, that's my story. So as someone who was fearful avoidant for a long time, and my home life being very chaotic, being very unpredictable, not being very stable, that's what I was attracted to. And when I went through the process of becoming a securely attached person, when I went through the healing and the work of healing my attachment style, and now I am secure, all of that is a turnoff to me. All of that is like, no thank you, red flag. But initially, it was seen as a green flag. It was seen as, woo, chemistry, woo, exciting, woo. And it's because I'm attracted to what I grew up in. I'm attracted to home. I'm attracted to dad, my emotionally unavailable father. So I saw emotional unavailability as, woo, yes, yes, this is what I know. This is familiar. This is, see. And that's a lot of people. So men and women, if they are anxiously attached, if they are avoidant, or if they're fearful avoidant, they're going to be attracted to their trauma. They're going to very much be attracted to their trauma. They're not going to be attracted to safe, good, healthy people. But what I always teach people is it can change. You can rewire your nervous system. You can reprogram your attachment style. But you have to intentionally do that. It is not just going to happen. But that's the reason why most women are attracted to bad men. They have absent fathers. They have emotionally unavailable fathers. Life at home was chaotic. They were parentified. All kinds of issues, sexual abuse, sexual trauma, all kinds of issues. And that they're just simply moving toward what feels familiar. That's what our brain does. This is what I know. This is familiar. Yes. And a secure person, a good guy, ooh, I don't know that. I don't know what that is. No. I don't recognize that. No. See, that's what's happening. And so you have to be self-aware. You have to go through the process of healing that in you and healing your attachment style and working with a therapist, working with an attachment specialist, a coach, taking a course or however you do it, reading books, and then you have to actively apply what you learn. And once you become more secure, you'll find all of that behavior distasteful. Because I know I do. I thought the second and the third guy were wonderful. I was like, oh, wow, they seem great. Especially the third one who was very calm. And they kept saying that, oh, is there another side to you? Is there a more exciting side to you? Is there a more, what? What kind of question is that? What? Really think about that. That a woman had to question him being calm and safe and secure. Baby, go home and work on yourself. Work on yourself, sweetheart. Because it's not him, it's you. It's not him, it's you. It's you. And the women in the lineup that probably were secure, the men, like, can we be real? They didn't find them attractive. They did not find them physically attractive. So I felt like 2 or 3 of those women, probably were good catches, but the men just did not find them attractive. And so, again, it's the same thing that I tell the women. You are not finding good, safe, stable, honorable men attractive. And that's a you problem. You keep saying it's them. No, baby, it's you. It's not them. They're doing exactly what they should be doing. All right. King Matt X says peers also can influence who you think you should be attracted to. It can if you are, a teenager. Can we be honest? If you're a teenager. But if you're a full-grown adult and you're emotionally mature, it shouldn't. That whole doing what my peers do and doing what other women do, that's for emotionally immature women. Because if you know about Erik Erikson's 7 stages of development, that's what teenagers do. That's why teenagers and young adults are, they pull away from their family influence. They pull away from authority and they align with other teenagers, right? So they are very focused on their peers. They're very focused on what my peers think, what the group thinks. They're very much into groupthink. But once you go through all the developmental stages and you become an adult, you should be able to think for yourself. But can I be honest? Most people are in arrested development. So what you're speaking of is arrested development. I'm a 57-year-old woman, and I could give a fig about what other women my age, older or younger, think about who I date. I could care less. Okay? Perfect example, my mama. She tend not to like some of the men I date. That's called so what? Okay. That's what I tell her. All right. But I'm a full-grown, emotionally mature woman. Okay? I don't dress like other women. I don't talk like other women. I don't follow trends like other women. Like, this is what a grown, emotionally mature woman looks like. I do what works for me. I dress in a way that I deem is appropriate. I don't follow trends. I do what I like. I don't, do stuff to my body because that's what everybody is doing. That's what teenagers do. That's a part of arrested development. He said, I've noticed a lot of people in their 30s and 40s are still influenced by others. Yeah, because of arrested development. That is something that is just sweeping our world. People not wanting to grow up. People not going through all of the developmental stages. So it's unfortunate. But there are more emotionally immature people now than there have ever been. And really ask yourself, think back to the 60s and the 70s. Now, if you look at pictures from people in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, it's like teenagers looked like grown adults, right? Teenagers looked grown. Like they had a meme out where they said, why do 20-year-olds in 1960 look 40? And it's because they were very quickly going through all of the stages of development. And that's why, can I be real with y'all? I mean, this is the longest we've ever lived in history. So people from back in the day, they didn't live as long. So think about it. If your age of death was in your 50s, you had to be a grown-up at 18. You had to be a grown-up at 16. So people were getting married at 16, 17, 18. They were having children. When my parents, is a perfect example. By the time my parents were 24, they had a mortgage. They had 2 children. They were married to each other, like at 24. You talk to the average 24-year-old today, they still live at home. Maybe they've gone to school. They might work at Whole Foods. Like, my son works at Whole Foods. Like, a family, a mortgage, like, they think that's crazy. They think that's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like, what? But see, this is the bad news about the technology, and this is what people don't recognize. Because life has gotten easier, people have gotten softer. So because of the technology, because of all the technological advances, and because we live longer, now we have this longer adolescent period. So now, I heard somebody just the other day say they don't feel like a grown adult. And I couldn't believe I was hearing this. I couldn't believe what my ears were hearing. They said, yeah, I don't think grown adulthood starts until you're 35. I was like, what? 35? That's wild. But that's what they said. They were like, I've heard women. It's a perfect example, y'all. I've heard women in their early 30s talk about they're too young to have kids. I'm too young to have kids. I'm too young to be a mother. I'm too young to get married at 35, at 32, at 30. I'm like, baby, so you don't want no kids. That's what you're saying. You don't want no kids because your eggs, your eggs say you ain't too young. Your eggs say you getting older. So you must not want no kids, because if you hollering at 35 that you young, no, your eggs ain't young. Your fertility ain't young. So you better get with it. But that is something that, that's how the technology hurts us. It's making people weaker and weaker. It's making people more emotionally immature. And if I'm being honest, I'm really disappointed with people over 50 because we know better. Like, I'm seeing a regression in people over 50, and we know better. We know better, right? We know what it is, and that's just like wow to me. You did not grow up with an iPhone. You did not grow up with social media. And it's almost like the modern day technology has erased, it's almost like it's erased their foundation. It's erased what they know, like the rotary phone, the push button phone, the making up games, and the television going off at night. Can we be real? The television went off at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, TV was done. Okay? Like, and sometimes I be talking to other people that are over 50, and I'm thinking, okay, you remember when the television went off, right? You remember the rotary phone, right? You remember dial-up internet, right? And they talking like they 25 and they 55. That's weird to me. But they talking to me like they 25. They using all the modern day vernacular, and they're trying to dress like they're 25, and they're, like you said, they care about what other people think, and they're following trends and what? And these are grown men and women. Ooh, let's put it in perspective. Some of these people are grandparents. Some of these people have grandchildren. And they out here competing with 25-year-olds. That's weird to me. I'm a grown woman. I don't need to compete with a 25-year-old woman or a 20-year-old woman or a 30-year-old, 35-year-old woman or a 40-year-old woman. I don't need to do that. I have wisdom. Okay? I've actually learned something in all these years. I actually have knowledge and wisdom. Okay? I live a peaceful life. Okay? So I don't understand that. Like, if I'm being honest, the over 50 crowd has me confused, because they are acting like they've lost their mind. They've lost their memory of what life was like before all this happened. And that's why I don't have personal social media. I do not have a personal social media account. I have a business account, which this is my coaching platform. I have an account for my private practice. But to just be, looking at pictures of what other people are doing, and to be posting pictures of what I'm doing, that don't interest me. I really don't have the time or the energy for that. I'm too busy out here trying to make money, okay? Trying to buy my land, trying to get my tiny home village started, trying to get out of this mortgage, write another book. I mean, I got other things I got to be doing. I don't have time to look at what other people's like. No, I could care less. And look, that's how I was raised. Like, I didn't know what other people was doing. So to me, that's normal and natural for me. As a 57-year-old, for years, I didn't know what other people were doing. Once they went in their house, that was called their business. And celebrities, you saw them on a movie, you saw them on TV, but outside of that, I didn't know what their favorite drink was or what their favorite cereal was or I didn't know what their life was like. And in some regard, that's why we pedestalized them, because we were like, oh, celebrities, oh, they're just so different than us. And now they out here showing their whole life. They're out here posting every second of their life and showing their family and showing their home and showing their dog and all. So now I'm just like, they just like me. They just like me. There ain't nothing special about them. They may have more money, but outside of that, and think about it, you got regular people getting surgery. You got regular people getting BBLs, getting boob jobs, and doing everything that celebrity people do. You got regular people out here buying nice cars, going on trips, and all these other, buying designer things. So we don't pedestalize celebrities anymore because we're like, yeah, it's just like us. Like we get to do everything they're doing. He said showing their entire life, good and bad, and people still trying to follow their footsteps. Oh, yeah, and woo, don't get me started. They will post the bad. That's what's so wild. I think that's kind of wild. So like I said, they're not even trying. They're not even trying to, like, keep the allure going. That's what I think is interesting about celebrities today. So back in the day, celebrities, like I said, you didn't know what their real life was like. They wanted you, it's like a mystery. They wanted to keep that allure. Now, that they post fighting. They put all their business out on the internet. They go through a divorce and go live and start talking about the other person. Like, they put all their business out. Like you said, good and bad. And that is just, ugh, like, no, I don't understand it. They just like us. Like I said, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. So, no. All right, we have reached that part where there was a little pocket where my phone is going to go out. So I'm about to shut it down. But I went far off the topic of what I started with. But gentlemen, and maybe I should be telling this to the ladies, because I think the ladies are fooled. I think you all think a man who, is exclusive and committed to you, you see that now as a prize. Like, oh my God, because half these men won't even be in a relationship. Half of these men won't commit to you. All they want is casual sex. So you see a man committing to you, living with you, you see that as the top of the mountain. And it's so weird because now, I've always seen the married guy, the faithful, loyal, married guy with his wife, with his children, with his life together. That will always be the top of the mountain. So the new top of the mountain, so now we're bringing the mountaintop down. The new top of the mountain is, well, I'm in a relationship with him. We're committed and exclusive. Maybe we live together. Maybe we buy a home. We get a dog. We have a kid. And that's now your new top of the mountain. Him calling me wifey. That's now your new top of the mountain. The guy I just spoke of will always be my top of the mountain. This guy below him is called so what? That's called so what? That to me, that's again, is doing more harm than good. We're giving this lower peg guy all this credit when, in my humble opinion, he shouldn't get no credit. Enough. 1614 says they also were controlled by the studios who did everything, even decided who they married and covered up their vices and bad actions. Could be. But again, just remember, we didn't have this much access. So we just didn't have this much access. Now we have all the access in the world. So that could be a lot of it. They could have been normal, healthy people, but we just didn't have access to them. I don't know. But getting back to my subject, to me, those men are part of the problem. They're part of the problem. And I want us to get back to what I believe should be the top of the mountain. Men and women getting married. We now know, and you all keep fighting this clinical research, these statistics. You keep wanting to fight about it. But I'm sorry, numbers are numbers, facts are facts. And we now know that households, especially in our community, that do not have a father in them, the children fare worse. We know that for a fact. That is the problem in our community, that we do not have families. We do not have marriage. We do not have a healthy man and a healthy woman coming together and creating a stable family environment and bringing children into it. That is the reason why, in my humble opinion, people are getting worse and worse and worse. Because it is now estimated that, 70% of African American homes are single mother led. That is problematic. Fathers matter. Dads matter. Okay? Dads matter to their sons. They should be a healthy role model to their sons of what healthy masculinity looks like. How he treats his wife matters. Dads matter to daughters and how they develop healthy self-esteem, how they feel about themselves, the type of men that they will choose when they get older. Good fathers, strong men matter. We are here because men have been weakened. Men have been weakened. Okay? What weakens men, in my humble opinion? Marijuana smoking every day. Alcohol drinking every day. Those are two toxins that are destroying your brain and your physical body. Pornography use every day. OnlyFans use every day. Social media every day. Baddies. Video game playing hours and hours on end every day. Isolation. No male friends every day. No working, no purpose, no plan, no vision every day. Like, can we be real? And you all who don't believe that this was set up, like that this was put in the ether for a reason, like, come on now, you can't be that dense. You can't be that dense that you can't see all of this is a part of something bigger. All of it. It's not a coincidence. But weak men, they make for very soft times, right? The soft times make weak men, and the weak men make soft times. This is where we are. He said, everyone fending for themselves. We used to know our neighbors, have an aunt, uncle down the street, etc. Yeah, the community is just destroyed. Like, we know that. You can't be that dense to dispute that our community is destroyed. It is destroyed. And yes, these are the kids that come out of it. And those kids eventually become adults. And those adults are all jacked up. And so they make more jacked up, more jacked up. Thank you, Garland, for buying a badge. They make more jacked up communities. So it's just a vicious cycle. He said, Madison prep graduation, no men seen. Wow. Yeah. So the sad part is, and people hate when I say this, but I have to be honest with you all. Biblical prophecy says it's not going to get better. It is not going to get better. There might be some Band-Aids we can apply, but we know the real solution, and whether you agree with that or not, but that, it is what it is. mentoring groups, YMCA, gym, and yoga classes need to come back. Yeah. The community is just destroyed. And it's going to fan out. You know, that's what a lot of African Americans don't realize. I think y'all don't realize that it's going to fan out. Like, we're going to see it in other communities too. It's not just going to be us, but because we have never been, we've never been collectively together. Our community was the easiest to attack because we've never truly been united. So our community was the easiest to attack because it was like, oh, these fools don't stand for nothing. You know, they don't stick together. Like, it was easy to attack our community. But trust and believe, it'll be other communities very soon. Very soon, we're going to see other communities start to disintegrate also. So it's not just us, but ours was the easiest to attack. And so between the music and the drugs and the alcohol and the pornography and, you know, in my humble opinion, there are three types of people of color in my community. There are ins, there are black people, and there are African Americans. So those are the three levels, in my humble opinion: ins, black people, African Americans. And I've already made a video about some black people are toxic. You know, that's over on YouTube. You're welcome to watch it. Some black women are toxic. See, I've already made those videos. I don't need to speak about it again. But there are three different types. Okay? And you need to ask yourself, which one are you? Even in Africa, we have tribes keeping us divided. Yep. Divide and conquer is the oldest trick in the book. It works every time. And so now we do it. We got to do it between men and women. We got to do it between the races. We got to do it in the Christian church. We got to do it in politics. We got to do it in the educational system. Like, yeah, it's the oldest trick in the book. Divide and conquer. If I can get you all to fight amongst yourselves, if I can get you to hate amongst yourselves, that's what's going to tear you apart. So wake up, be smart, be wise, okay? Learn and grow and be wise, because like I said, a lot of people are asleep. Y'all are asleep at the wheel and the crash is coming. That's it. But these dudes out here that have a wifey at home, to me, they're part of the problem. Their lifestyle is still not stable. It's still not consistently committed. It's just not. But again, women have lowered the standard. We've lowered the standard to, well, if I've gone out on 3 dates, that's doing something. No, it's not. No, it's not. And that's why when we use the term bare minimum, men get so upset. They get so upset when you use the term bare minimum. Now, I don't use that term because, again, I don't use this modern day vernacular. I have a standard for, in my humble opinion, what a good, solid, godly man is like. What a good, solid man is, a masculine man. I have that standard. And yeah, if he does not meet the standard, I'm like, no. Well, I'm calling. I'm saying good morning every morning. Okay. You know, like, again, but that does not meet my standard. Okay. I don't use the term bare minimum, but I just say, okay, right? I don't say anything. I just go, oh, okay. But if the doors of heaven don't fling open for you, it's because, okay, you know, like I said, that's nice. You know, that's all that I'm going to say. So they are part of the problem, but they think that they're doing something, not even knowing that they're still unstable. Their situation is still not stable. They have not fully committed. And then they keep saying this stuff about the government. Like I said, men have a million excuses. They can come up with a million reasons why they shouldn't do something. That just blows my mind every time. Instead of just doing the good thing, instead of just doing the right thing, they'll come up with a million excuses. Well, I don't want the government in my marriage. I don't want the government telling me this. I don't want the legal system or whatever. Okay. Okay. Like I said, I don't even know what the comeback is to that. I just go, okay, I don't want the government in my marriage. It's just a piece of paper. So, like I said, but ladies, stop falling for it. I can't tell you. Like I said, it's like an epidemic of women out here living with men, buying homes with them, getting a dog with them. Like y'all are doing everything but the right thing. And you think you're doing something. You really do. Because like I said, you lowered that bar. And 50 short years ago, a woman wasn't letting you between her legs unless y'all was married. 50 short years ago, that was the standard. Oh no, you need to talk to my dad. You need to ask for my hand in marriage. And you need to come around and court me, and my parents need to meet you, and my mother and father. But like I said, mother and father don't even exist no more. So no wonder the standard has just been dissolved. There is no healthy standard. So y'all are moving in with these men and getting homes together, and you washing his dirty drawers and all this other stuff, and you don't have true stability. You do not have a true commitment from that man until he's married to you. And if you wake up one day and want to blow the whole thing up, well, I don't understand, and isn't it because y'all are not married, sweetheart? You don't have any rights to that man. And God forbid, if he died tomorrow, you have no legal rights, no medical rights. You have no rights to that man. His parents can come in and decide if he gets cremated or not, or whatever's going to happen. You have no rights to that man. So it can't be me. And y'all already know that. It cannot be me. You my husband or we nothing. And we can be on the way to you being my husband, but I'm not living with you. I'm not buying no house. I'm not getting no dog. I'm not having your child. None of that is happening. So come on now. And then think about it, y'all. There's a reason why. This is what's wild to me. There's a reason why the LGBTQ wants marital rights. Like, think about that. They out here fighting tooth and nail for marital rights. Why do you think that is? Why do you think they went through everything they went through to have the right to marry? And now y'all have thrown it by the wayside. You say it's a piece of paper. You say it don't matter. That, oh, we have everything married couples have, but we not legally married. Really think about that. See? But see, y'all don't think. Y'all not critical thinkers. You're not a critical thinker. You don't ask yourself, why is the LGBTQ fighting so hard to be married, and yet it don't mean anything? It's not important. It is just a piece of paper. Okay, she says those same men who don't want the government still want clean air and water, access to health care, disaster relief, etc. Oh, well, of course. Of course they do. But again, you are a critically thinking person. So most people are not. Most people don't think critically. Okay? But I do. And I can refute every argument you got. But again, that's called cherry picking. There are some things I want the government to do, but other things I don't want the government in. That's called cherry picking. So no. But ladies, you have been hoodwinked. You have been bamboozled. You have been tricked into lowering your standard. And the men will tell you, now here's the interesting thing. The men are going to tell you that feminism did it. Okay? That might be partially true. That feminism is what tricked you into lowering your standard. Feminism tricked you into charging less for your product or service. Okay? That you are less valuable, less worthy. You should be paying your way on dates. You should be driving him around. You should be opening his door. Right? That it has tricked you into thinking you don't need marriage. You don't even need exclusivity and commitment to give away your precious body. All right? But whatever it is, y'all done fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. And now that you see the real live repercussions of such actions, and you crying on the internet about it, and you making videos crying in your car about how hard it is, and you want the soft life, being a single mother sucks, it's so awful, I just need a man to help me with these bills and help me with these kids, and it's so horrible. You done woke up. Now close your legs. That's the next order of business. Close your legs. Require a commitment. And yes, a legal commitment. Yes, a covenant commitment. Okay? That's how a man is going to get the best of Anita. With a legal and spiritual religious covenant commitment. The gates of heaven will fly open when I have all of that. Okay? So until then, I have to give it to myself. I have to be the best I can be for myself. And that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I encourage other women to do. But unfortunately, the majority of us have fallen for the banana in the tailpipe. And that is why we find ourselves in this conundrum. Because we fell for it. So whether it was feminism, and y'all do know that there were men who supported the cause. There were men behind feminism. Do your research. Okay? And of course, the birth control pill, men invented that. Right? Just think about all the male inventions that have helped women to become more sexually free, more sexually open, the free love movement and all of that. There were men behind all of that. And that benefits them. So come on, be a critical thinker. That's all I'm asking you to do. All right, I got to wrap it up because I'm getting ready to head off onto my exit and get started on my very long day. But I hope you all have a great day. It started off very rainy. It looks like it's clearing up. My prayer is that it's going to clear up in time because graduation is outside. The majority of it is. And we had some storms overnight, but hopefully, it will right itself. You may have a free 30-day trial of Skool, Single Seeking Soulmate, my private community over on Skool. All you have to do is email me at info@betterlovemovement.com and say, hey, I want a free trial. I will have Skool send you an email invite, and there you go. You are welcome into Skool. I would love for you to join us over there. That is the place where healthy, securely attached, emotionally mature people, men and women, we get together over there once a week on Monday evenings. There is a course over there called Relationship Skills 101. Okay? And we learn and grow. We meet other emotionally mature people. We have healthy conversations over in my private community. That is the place where you have the greatest chance of meeting someone that's actually doing the actual work to be the best version of themselves, is over on Skool. All right, so I hope you can join us there. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video and consider subscribing. Consider becoming a member of the channel. You're going to get members-only content there. You're going to get some other perks there. Okay? You'll get an extended free trial of Skool if you are a member of my YouTube channel. Again, all you have to do is email me and I will confirm, yes, you are a member of the YouTube channel. You get an extended trial to Skool. Okay? I may even make Skool free. I may even make Skool free for members of the YouTube channel. I gotta consider that. All right, but thank you so much. I appreciate you all's support. I hope you have a great day. And as always, stay open to love.